Welcome to the Explainer. You know, we've always looked up at the stars, searching for answers. But what if that big, cosmic silence we're hearing isn't an absence of an answer? What if it's actually a warning?
I mean, for as long as we've had eyes to see the night sky, we've asked this one huge question. It's this deep search for cosmic kinship, right? A hope that somewhere out there, some other voice is looking back and asking the very same thing.
But what if that silence isn't actually empty? What if it is the message? Maybe it's a reflection of some universal pattern, a pattern that has some pretty serious implications for our own journey with technology, right here on Earth. All right, let's get into it, because this is about so much more than just little green men. In this explainer, we're going to pull together astrophysics, the absolute cutting edge of AI, and yeah, some of the oldest, deepest questions in philosophy.
So it really all starts with a feeling I bet a lot of you have had. You know, when you're looking up at a really clear night sky, there's that sense of awe for sure, but there's also this feeling of being really, really alone.
I absolutely love this quote from a recent paper by some NASA researchers. It just perfectly nails the paradox of right now. We know more about the universe than ever before, and yet we've never felt more alone in it. Kind of weird, right?
So, okay, why is it so quiet out there? Well, a recent scientific paper has this really fascinating and honestly kind of chilling explanation. The big idea? Maybe we're just looking at the wrong time. The core idea here is something they call technological acceleration, but we'll just call it alpha to keep it simple. Basically, think of it as the speed of progress. So, a low alpha? That's like the slow, steady development we saw over centuries. But a high alpha? That's the explosive, exponential growth we're seeing right now with things like AI.
And what's so cool about this chart is how it visualizes the whole problem. See that gray band? That's our detection threshold. It's the range of technologies we can actually recognize right now. Now look at that slow green line. It hangs out in that band for a long, long time. But the steep blue line, that's a civilization with rapid growth. Whoosh, it just blasts right through our detection window in what's basically a cosmic instant.
So here's the key takeaway, that detection window isn't some fixed thing. It actually shrinks, and shrinks dramatically the more advanced the civilization gets. So a pre-industrial society? Yeah, we might be able to detect them for thousands of years. But a civilization with, say, a moderate 20th century growth rate? That window shrinks to just 500 years.
And here's the real kicker. For civilization whose tech is accelerating as fast as our AI is today, that window could slam shut in just 100 years. They don't die out or anything, they just transcend. Their technology becomes so advanced, so fundamentally different from ours, that we literally can't see or hear it anymore.
And this is the moment where this whole theoretical model about alien life suddenly gets super personal. Why? Because it looks an awful lot like what's happening on our own planet, right here, right now.
Just look at this comparison. The theory says advanced civilizations go dark as their tech evolves. Well, guess what? Our own radio signals are already harder to detect from a distance than they were just 50 years ago. So you have to ask, are we watching our own civilization start to go dark before we've even managed to properly say hello to the universe?
And let me tell you, we are absolutely flooring the accelerator. This year alone, just 4 companies are on track to spend $250 billion on AI. $250 billion. We are pouring unbelievable amounts of resources into making our own technological acceleration go completely vertical.
This quote, which is written from a hypothetical future, really makes you question the wisdom behind this whole frantic race. Is this a thoughtful, considered push toward progress? Or is it something a little more compulsive? Something we haven't really thought all the way through?
And it's not just outsiders who are worried. Even the people building the stuff are getting nervous. In a 2023 survey, hundreds of AI developers admitted they thought there was at least a 10% chance, a 1 in 10 chance, that creating superintelligence could lead to human extinction. They see the risks, but the race just keeps on going.
Okay, so this intense focus on technology, on external signals, it brings us right back to that great silence. But maybe we've been looking at it all wrong. Maybe it's not just a scientific silence. Maybe it's something much older, much more philosophical.
I mean, for thousands of years, this is the question humanity has basically shouted at the sky. We're searching for meaning, right? For some kind of sign that we fit into a bigger cosmic plan. And for all that time, the only response we've gotten back is silence.
You know, that feeling actually has a name.
The philosopher Albert Camus, he called it the absurd. And what it is this clash, this friction between our deep human need for meaning and a universe that seems completely indifferent to that need. We scream why, and the cosmos just doesn't answer.
And this is where it all comes together. Maybe that silence from the universe is trying to tell us something. That the most important problem we have to solve, it's not out there in the stars, it's right here, inside of us.
So before we even start to worry about aligning AI with human values, some thinkers are arguing we have a much more fundamental problem. We aren't even aligned with ourselves. Think about it. We often prioritize raw logic over holistic wisdom. We're disconnected from our own unconscious minds, from our bodies, from the present moment. We're prone to reacting emotionally instead of responding thoughtfully. To put it simply, we're intelligent, sure, but we're really struggling to be wise.
And this quote just illustrates the core issue so brilliantly. Technology is a tool. It's an amplifier. It can't solve problems that are fundamentally human. It doesn't matter how advanced our AI gets, it's not going to fix the issues that come from the human heart. That's work that only we can do.
So this all leaves us at this huge crossroads, doesn't it? We're building technologies that have the power to literally remake our world, but we're still wrestling with our oldest, deepest flaws. And the choice that we're facing now, well, it was described perfectly more than 50 years ago. Martin Luther King Jr. said this back in the nuclear age. But wow, has it ever been more relevant than right now? Our technological power has become so immense that our own inner development, our capacity for empathy, for real dialogue, for nonviolence, that's not a luxury anymore. It's a flat-out prerequisite for survival.
And really, that's the ultimate question the Great Silence is asking us. Maybe the reason we don't hear from other civilizations is because the only ones who make it through this critical phase are the ones who learn to quiet their own inner noise first. Our technology is on an exponential curve, shooting for the stars. The question for every single one of us is, can our wisdom keep up?